What's happening, YouTube? It's K Mega 405 live from the 405. Well, I'm just your regular gamer talking to the intelligent gamers out there. Now, this past weekend, I went and seen Suicide Squad, and it was something that I did that was a little bit different than the norm. I stayed away from listening to what any critic had to say or from any friend, anything. I wanted to go see this movie and have the interpretation of what I wanted to be. If I liked it, I liked it. If I didn't, I didn't. But I wanted to stay away from the critics this time. This would be the first time that I've ever done that with a movie. And you know what? I came out to be thoroughly surprised and entertained. I thought Suicide Squad was a great movie. I thought, to me, I thought it was the best superhero movie the second best superhero movie that came out this year. Of course, Civil War being number one. And you know what? There was a couple of things in the movie that I could have said that, oh well, it's this and that. But you know what? That's really not important, because it's just like with the latest X-Men movie. Some people, they want their movies to be so authentic and to follow the comics. Well, when you had Psylocke and you had Olivia Munn dressed just like Psylocke, you still had critics to dog her out, say that it looked funny, but it was the exact same outfit like Psylocke's. I mean, unless you want to try to go into full detail. And I think that is one of the biggest problems, especially with the whole Marvel versus DC fanboy crazyism, is that we all watch these movies. We all generate and give money to these people, regardless if you hate DC or if you hate Marvel, which I really find stupid. I really do. And it's the same to me, just kind of like the console war. But there's actual real evidence that one company is doing more than the other company when it comes to the video game spectrum. But when it comes to the movies, DC is really doing a good job. I mean, it started off when they started doing Batman. The new age Batman, from Batman Begins on. I think Justice League will be a very entertaining movie. And and even though Batman v Superman, when I seen the trailer, it gave me chills. I was like, oh my god, it's going to be like it has a potential to be the best comic book movie ever. But really, it wasn't. But it was good still. It wasn't bad. And a lot of people shitting on it because, you know why? I think the critics shit on it. And that's the same thing with video games. Just go into the whole aspect of when you buy a video game. Do your research on it for yourself. But don't sit there and listen to what somebody has to say, because if they hate it, then it's going to give you a thought process in your head that you're going to hate it kind of too. You're not going to give it the benefit of the doubt, and everything that person may dissect and say that's wrong with that game, you're going to notice it. But when you play the game and don't have anybody else telling you about it, you'll enjoy it. And I think that's the whole thing about it. I mean, play the game first, get a feel of it, then listen to what the critics got to say and see if you agree with those points. Because I find it to be where critics nowadays, they're paid off. You even hear this. I mean, even there's YouTubers that do reviews, and then you find out that they're on the take, they get paid for it. Then just with like No Man's Sky, there was people that was wanting to say how they felt about it, but then it was a gag order. You got people that's being oversensitive to No Man's Sky, but in actual reality, that the game is okay. It's not super great. Now, to some people, it might be absolutely fantastic, and that's okay.
Studio trying to calm your soul, looking at your manager. I think Chris a guy, man. I'll put you in the trunk with these soul whoop. Feel Will in my shot. I'm so prolific with these scriptures, they might give me a